Hello there, Operation Fatherhood channel here. Um, Father to father. Remember that old saying, it takes a village to raise a child? Believe it or not, that actually is very true. It's not as popular as it once was, I think, because a lot of us nowadays are probably just not as trusting of people as once used to be. I know I'm not anyway. But it does take a village to raise a child. When you send your children to school, hopefully you have a good school system, or you have a trust or some kind of relationship with the teachers or educators that they know that you, as a parent, as a father, you care about your child and your child's education and their growth. Okay. And I would say this as a former teacher myself. I used to try to reach out to some fathers, and I was shocked at how some fathers like just didn't care. Hey, just send a message to their mother. Like, no, my man. As a father, you should care. Okay, you shouldn't just send a message off to their mother. I don't care how many text messages you get a day. I don't care if you got 7 kids, and you're getting 7 different messages all the time about all the things that are going on with your children. Maybe you're overwhelming from time to time. I can imagine that, but you still should want to know. And that also goes back to being, it takes a village to raise a child. So you may get those messages, but you may be working a lot, but you need to try to figure out a way to get maybe it's grandparents, or maybe you have a brother or sister who's your children's aunt or uncle. Other friends that you really trust, that you like, okay, they've been around my kids. I don't got to worry about any type of abuse or assault or something weird going on when I'm not around. Also being aware of your children, just in case anything changes happen to them, that you can kind of check on it immediately. So you think somebody's doing something, that you can go ahead and check and handle it, like you're supposed to as a man. But it's one of those things that, like I said before, it does take a village to raise a child, even in the times in which we live, pandemic and all, not being as trusting of people and all, because there's so many things that sometimes your kids can learn from others that they might not get from you. I can say with the experience, I think anybody can say this, that even as a child, it's so interesting that people would say the same thing my dad had said, and I would take it from my father better than I would take it from them, as ignorant as I was as a teenager. And I remember sometimes I think I even may have even told my dad, like, "Oh, Dad, my uncle said this," and my dad was like, "Yeah, I think I just told you that like a month ago, but it's just all good." And that's kind of interesting how I think life works, because teenagers or kids, and sometimes teenagers, not all teenagers, but some teenagers, you know, almost kind of want to dismiss the parent. The parent no longer becomes cool as the kid grows into teenage hood or whatever. Um, but at the same time, as the parent, you have to kind of be like, okay, well, that's fine, but put them around people that you trust and that you know are going to do right by them, right? And so that way, they're kind of those persons in your village, that community that you set up, are really kind of reinforcing the things that you've already taught your children. So even if you no longer become cool as the parent, those other folks who are cool are still reinforcing what you've already said. Ding, something to think about, right? So again, that goes with a multitude of things, and I'm in this video in a moment. So for example, I know myself. I was watching a video of a guy. It was a biracial couple. I really didn't like the video. If I could find out, I'd put a link in the show description about it, but I don't know what that link is. But anyway, I saw a link where it's a biracial couple. So it's a Caucasian guy, and it's like an African-American girl, or biracial girl, whatever she was. And a couple of African-American guys rode up on them, and they were like, "Oh, what's up with my queen?" and all this stuff. And apparently they didn't like the fact, excuse me, they didn't like the fact that the guy was Caucasian. He's with an African American girl. So they were like, "You're my queen. Why you letting this Caucasian dude over here?" They call him white boy and all this stuff. Caucasian dude, being with you and stuff like that. He can't. And apparently he didn't know how to change a tire. And here's the thing about it. I'm gonna be honest. I can't fix a flat either. It's pretty sad. I know. My father tried to teach me, and I just didn't pay attention. I'm sorry. I'm not the best father in that area. So I'm calling roadside assistance. That's me. This dude was on the side of the road, and he was arguing back and forth with this girl. And the girl was trying to correct him, but he didn't want to hear it, I guess. And the other African-American guys came along and trying to kind of embarrass him. So I thought, could have been a teachable moment by these two guys, but they made it a racial moment. Anyway, the thing is, though, is that there's going to be things that Elaine and Elijah, that as your father, I don't know. I'm not good with cars. I'm not good with a multitude of things, cooking, all that kind of stuff. Okay? The things that I'm not good at, I'm going to try to do my best to put you in touch with people that are good at those things and still reinforce the things that I've already taught you. Something to think about, fathers.